I'm curious, Jake, did you notice a post-World Cup boost in energy? Did it feel different coming back?
Look, Alex, you're a Los Angeles guy, so you know this particular game doesn't need a boost from anything. It is always a major deal when the LA Galaxy play LAFC. But yes, I think we felt it here tonight, but not just here tonight in person. You feel it talking to people coming to the game. You feel it talking to people in airports, on airplanes, in hotels, and even the chatter on social media. The number of people that I've heard say, I'm going to check out my first MLS game tonight on Apple TV is staggering, to be honest.
Well, and Jake, you even made the call as you welcomed people to the broadcast, acknowledging that this may be people's first time ever watching an MLS game.
It's realistic, right? It might be. We hope it is. And I know Taylor agrees, right? We hope that people caught that World Cup fever and they turn that into long-time soccer fandom and choose to support an MLS team and watch the league here in the United States.
Taylor, let's talk about how this tournament may change American soccer forever. The last time the U.S. hosted the World Cup was in 1994. That actually led to the MLS, which you were a part of playing in. Now you're a part of commentating. What do you think this tournament will do?
That's a great question, Alex, because the legacy of the 94 World Cup was the creation and birth of Major League Soccer. And yet when you look at this United States team that played in the 2026 World Cup, 21 of the 26 players either were developed in MLS, played in MLS, or did both. And so that's kind of where that legacy is. I don't know how to quantify it. I don't know how to articulate what it means for a 6 to a 14-year-old boy or girl that watches the World Cup in their backyard and then immediately can go to an MLS soccer-specific stadium and watch a game. We didn't have that growing up. That wasn't theirs. So it's very hard to honestly quantify what the World Cup is going to do for soccer in this country in the sense of fandom, but more so, how about participation? I play a bunch of golf with a bunch of these pro athletes from all other sports, and this year, more than any, their sons and daughters, they want to play soccer. They want to wear the U.S. jersey. They want to be the next Florian Balogun. They want to be the next Trinity Rodman. That was never the conversation 20 years ago. So, Alex, honestly, the question you're asking me, I don't know if we know that answer definitively until about 10, 12 years from now, but I can guarantee you it's going to be a lot different than what the 94 World Cup did.
Yeah, I mean, Colin Cowherd of Fox Sports, I think, said it well, that right now soccer is cool. And it's not really about people that are over 40. It's about people that are under 20. And that this new generation is seeing soccer as the cool sport, which will have wide-reaching impacts for generations. But let's talk about why it's so cool, which is the matches have been really good. The ratings have been through the roof. And Sunday's the biggest match of all, Argentina and Spain. Taylor, how do you break that down?
This is a difficult one because I think when you think of the Spanish fan, they will have a lump in the back of their throat because they saw Lionel Messi make a name for himself at Barcelona for years. And unless you're a Real Madrid fan, you hate Lionel Messi. But every single other Spanish La Liga fan will watch that game and say, hang on a minute. We're going up against the greatest of all time, the guy that made our life miserable within the club level in Spain. This is a difficult one. I think if you asked Spain if they had a preference, they would have rather played England. They beat England in the 2024 European Cup final. I don't know this. So Jake and Alex, this one's interesting for me because I think Messi emotionally connects with the Spanish audience way more than any other audience than the Argentinian. And that's where this becomes a very intriguing matchup. Spain is used to watching Messi do his thing. They just don't want him to do that on Sunday. And
famously, one of the Spanish players was held up as a baby by Messi. There's such a connection to him. But tomorrow, and then in the next few hours, is the third place game. Jake, does anybody care about the third place game? Is it time that we end this?
That's a loaded question, isn't it? Look, not the most compelling game for me, though the Golden Boot could be on the line and determined by this third-place game. And I'm sitting next to a striker who I sit next to every week on Apple TV, who I know would take every opportunity in that third-place game if he was in one to score as many goals as possible to win that Golden Boot. So Kylian Mbappe, Harry Kane, Jude Bellingham, if they play in that game, they're going to be going for it, because it could mean winning or losing the Golden Boot of this tournament.
So, Taylor, real quickly to you, who wins the Golden Boot and who wins the World Cup?
Lionel Messi becomes the oldest player ever to win the Golden Boot by 9 years, because in order for Argentina to win, he's going to have to do it. And listen, my brain tells me Spain's the best team of the World Cup. But my heart tells me what I've watched for the last 2.5 years and on Apple TV at Inter Miami, Lionel Messi's just different. He's really different. And I think Argentina defends their title.
Well, if you want to watch Messi after this, you can watch him with these guys on Apple TV. It's going to be quite a season and probably record ratings for you guys as well. Good to have you back streaming once again. Jake Zivin, Taylor Twellman, best of luck the rest of this season. Thanks for all your help during the World Cup.
Thanks, Alex.
Jake, Alex only had us on because he's an LAFC fan. That's the only reason why. If Galaxy won, we wouldn't have been on today.
Dolly, black and gold. Nice job. All right. with